How are a WW1 pilot and the Chinese balloon linked? The sky has secrets. My name is Daniel Graves. I'm an investigative journalist. Not the kind that follows celebrities or sniffs around politicians. No, I dig up forgotten skeletons buried in classified archives. My latest assignment? It started as something almost laughable. Uncover the link between a downed World War I pilot and the modern Chinese spy balloon incident. I rolled my eyes when my editor pitched it. But what I found over the next 10 days chilled me to the bone and dragged me into a century-old conspiracy that's still alive, still dangerous. The pilot who vanished twice. The file came in a worn leather satchel handed to me by a retired Air Force major in a coffee shop outside Langley. Inside was a black-and-white photo of a handsome man in a flight suit, 1917, judging by the uniform. Scribbled on the back, Lieutenant Harold Finch. Vanished 1918. Reappeared 1933. Disappeared again. Curiosity replaced my skepticism. Lieutenant Finch was a Royal Flying Corps ace who mysteriously disappeared over France in 1918 during a recon mission. Nothing unusual. World War I claimed plenty of pilots. But what sent shivers down my spine was what came next. 15 years later, in 1933, Finch turned up at an RAF base in Kent. Same face. Same age. Same flight suit, tattered, blood-stained, and smelling of aviation fuel. He claimed he'd just landed from his 1918 sortie, asking what had happened to the German triplane chasing him. Witnesses called him confused. Doctors said he was delusional. 2 weeks later, Finch escaped a military hospital and was never seen again. An old letter and a new lead. I dug deeper into Finch's life. His only living relative, a great-granddaughter named Meredith, lived in Vermont. She handed me an envelope sealed with wax and addressed to the one who finally understands. Inside was a letter from Finch dated 1918. It spoke of a silver eye in the clouds, a whirring storm not made by man, and a warning not meant for 1918. He begged whoever found the letter to watch the skies in 100 years, when the eyes return. The balloon incident. Jump to 2023, a massive balloon drifting across North America. Officially, it was a Chinese weather research balloon gone rogue. Unofficially, it was labeled a surveillance craft. It floated, lingered, changed direction. Technology far beyond what a simple balloon should do. The military shot it down. End of story, right? Not quite. I managed to contact a whistleblower from NORAD, call sign Ghost Echo. He told me that when the balloon was intercepted, it emitted a low-frequency signal. Not radio. Not sonar. Something older. Stranger. A signal matching one logged only once before, in 1933, when Lieutenant Harold Finch's plane appeared on radar for 13 minutes before his brief reappearance. A pattern was forming. The same signal. The same timing. 100 years between appearances. And that wasn't all. The blueprints. Through an anonymous drop, I received an old technical schematic. The signature read HF, dated 1917. The blueprint depicted a circular aerial device, smooth, seamless. Not a balloon, not a plane. Something eerily like a modern stealth drone, but drawn decades before its invention. Accompanying it was a note. They're coming back. When the sky opens, they return. But it's not just the sky that opens, it's time. I couldn't sleep that night. Montana. I followed one last lead. The balloon had drifted directly over a restricted Air Force base in Montana that houses advanced radar and aerospace testing facilities. More importantly, it also sits near an old, decommissioned weather station. The last place Lieutenant Harold Finch's signal was recorded in 1933. I snuck in during the cover of a thunderstorm. The facility looked abandoned, but the hum of underground generators betrayed its heartbeat. I descended a rusted staircase, guided only by my flashlight. That's when I found it. A hangar. Sealed for decades, yet somehow buzzing with faint electricity. And in the center, a plane. Or at least, what used to be one. The aircraft was mangled, as though it had crashed mid-transit through time itself. The fuselage bore British insignia, barely visible. The tail number? RFC, HF 1918. Lieutenant Harold Finch's biplane. I stepped closer, heart racing. A soft hiss escaped the wreckage. A man's voice whispered from the darkness. "You finally found it." The climax, Finch's final flight. A figure emerged, aged but strong. Unmistakably the same man from the photo. Harold Finch. Not a descendant. Not a hallucination. He didn't look surprised to see me. "I've been trapped between years," he said. "They didn't just take me. They showed me what's coming." He spoke of an intelligence, a presence observing Earth, nudging events from behind a veil. WW1. World War II. The Cold War. All tests. Humanity's capacity for violence was being logged, indexed. The balloon wasn't surveillance. It was a beacon. A reawakening. "I escaped their prism," Finch said, coughing blood. "But I brought something with me." From beneath his flight suit, he pulled a device, smooth, metallic, humming. It pulsed like a heartbeat. "They think I died in 33. But I've been jumping, waiting. This is the only way to stop them." Then he tossed me a notebook, coordinates, diagrams, warnings, and ran. Before I could follow, the hangar shook. Lights flared. A circular, silent machine hovered into view, not from above, but as if it phased in from another dimension. It looked exactly like the blueprint from 1917. A thin beam of light struck Finch mid-run. He vanished in a shimmer of air, without sound or scream. And the object vanished just as suddenly. The aftermath. The warning. I sent everything, the photos, the footage, the notebook, to my editor. The next day, the entire story was buried. My files deleted. My access revoked. Then a package arrived. No return address. Inside, only a note. "We warned you not to open the sky." The footage I kept hidden is all that's left. So when someone asks, how are a World War I pilot and the Chinese balloon linked? I tell them. They were never separate. They're chapters in a story too vast, too old, and far from over. Watch the skies.